Hello flight simmers, welcome back to flight number 2 in the newly released PMDG 777. Today, as you can see, we are flying the 777-300 extended range in the very cool and beautiful Swiss colors, and we are sitting here at Sao Paulo International Airport. And of course our route will take us back to Switzerland, to Zurich today, so we are on a serious long haul today. Flight time will be a bit more than 10.5 hours, so I am very excited to take this beautiful plane on this long haul flight. After all, these kind of flights are the ones which the 777 is really designed for, and of course in the last 777 flight we had a short one just to kick things off, but today it will be the first serious long haul operation, so very much looking forward to this. Also, as a bit of a change from last time, today we are trying another engine type, which are the beautiful GE90s engine. Sound is of course a bit different compared to the Rolls-Royce, but we will certainly hear how they sound during the takeoff roll. But it will be a few minutes until we get there. GSX is currently loading in all the baggage, and passengers are boarding as well. Up here we can see 409 passengers. That's of course a bit of nonsense once again. In fact, we are not carrying a lot of passengers today, only 124, but in addition to that another 30 tons of cargo, which I believe is a rather realistic assumption these days. So that's what we are carrying today. Also, looking around, we are in a quite good 777 company. There's American 777-200 over there. Then here is a American 777-300, and there's another American, and over here there's in fact the Swiss, and it turns out they are even carrying, where is it, the same registry, Hotel Bravo Juliet November Bravo. There we are, and yeah, that's the same one we are having today. So turns out the AI traffic schedule is quite spot on in that sense. Also looking around, we can see that the weather is not exactly brilliant here at Sao Paulo. We will have a look at the later on the flight plan. Speaking of which, here we are with the flight plan today, operating Swiss 93 on the 26th of February, departing Sao Paulo at 20:25 Zulu time. Makes it, I think it's 5:25 evening local time, which means quite soon after the departure we will head into the sunset, and then shortly before Zurich we will head into a sunrise again. So that should be pretty beautiful in terms of cruise today. And regarding the weights, you can see we are zero fuel weight 208.6, about 30 tons shy of max zero fuel weight. And in terms of takeoff weight, we could even carry another around 46 tons more than we actually do today. Other than that, initial cruise level 310, all pretty standard here. We can see alternate is Frankfurt Airport, flight time 10 hours 43 minutes, block fuel 97.5 tons. And other than that, flight plan is pretty straightforward. So let's have a look at the weather. And while the weather for the cruise is looking quite alright, here for the departure it's a bit more interesting. We can see right now winds 30 knots from 070, 8 kilometers of visibility. That's not perfect, but quite alright nevertheless. Some low-hanging clouds. But also we can see that temporarily, and that's actually the current hours we have, so that's 18 and 22 Zulu. We might have some thunderstorms and rain, visibility of 4 kilometers only, and then also some thunderstorm clouds around us. So we will definitely need to keep an eye out for those during departure or after departure, to be accurate. But other than that, it's looking good. For Zurich, the forecast is quite alright. There's only one thing, we might have a chance of some gusting winds. I hope they don't kick in, but of course we will get a more up-to-date forecast when we get to Zurich. Right, so now let's head into the flight deck and start to set up. Okay, so here we are. ACAS is already loaded in, so we can continue with the performance. Reserves today will be 10.1, and that's due to the fact that Frankfurt is quite a bit away from Zurich. Zero fuel weight 208, and then cost index only 15 today. Step size, we can leave that at the reduced vertical separation minima, if I'm not mistaken on this one. And then let's do the departure. We are going out of the runway 09 left, and the departure route will be the Sao Jose to Bravo, which is this one. And then transition will be at Usamo. Like this, having a look at the chart, it's rather straightforward, just climbing straight out runway, heading 093. I will put this in here very quickly. And then, yeah, we have a few miles up straight, up to Sao Jose, then take the left-hand turn. And there are some altitude constraints in there, which I think we will make quite easily in the 777 today also, since we are not quite at max takeoff weight. And off to the left, there's of course some mountains which we need to clear. And yeah, so actually both weather and terrain today is a bit interesting and is a bit of a threat here, but I think we can handle that. Arrival we will of course do during the cruise, and so we can load in the route data, the wind data. And execute that. And then transition altitude here, I think it was 8,000 on the charts, like this. And okay, I think boarding is already completed. I'm a bit behind schedule now, but that's okay. And other than that, we can do the performance. So let's head over to the EFB. Yeah, by the way, I should have mentioned previously, we do have the EFB on board. And to be very honest with you guys, I'm not exactly sure where it came from. I think what they did is with the 777-200ER add-on, they also provided the EFB to all the other 777 models. So that's what I think they did here. So I think not all of you guys will have this one on your 777 if you didn't got yourself the 200ER update. But yeah, that's that. And so let's fill in the data here. Check the weather again. Yeah, we'll also do the doors in just a second. So that's 070 at 13. And let's go takeoff today, just to be on the safe side. And then PEX auto, engine wing, anti-ice auto, like this. And well, it is dry for now. It hasn't rained, so that should be fine. So flap 5 and temperature of 37. Quickly popping on the APU. Okay, so that is thrust limit, and that's 37 in here. So that's 100.1. It's 99.7, but this is close enough really. And then flaps 5. And then it is 66, 77, 82. 166. Like that. Cool. So 182, that goes in here. And let me go ahead and close all the doors now. Okay, right. So I think this setup is more or less completed. Initial climb clearance is not mentioned on here, so maybe let's put the transition of 8,000. Flight directors LNAV, VNAV, and let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, that's looking good for the departure. Perfect. Arm all the doors. And then over here, back to the FMC. Let's see, 17.6 tons of fuel up on arrival. That's plenty. That's well above our minimum fuel, so very easy here. And APU is running cool, so we can let's disconnect the external power and also set the parking brake. Go to ground connections, and now we can remove everything at the same time we can pop on the packs. Since APU is running, pop on these seat belts as well. And I think we also need to do some checklists. So oxygen, yeah, we can assume that's done. And flight instruments 094, 094, and altimeters. Oops, that's still inches. Should be hectopascals like that. 1014 and 1014 is checked. And before start checklist, I will do in just a second. So let's put on all the fuel pumps, center pumps as well. Beacons go on, and then first the right one. I really hope I do that correct today. Always not too sure about that. Okay, then the other three, and then the electrical pumps like that. Okay, cool. So, yeah, before start checklist, flight deck doors locked, MCP, we have done that, takeoff speeds are done, CDU pre-flight is done, trim is free at 0 units, taxi and takeoff briefing. Taxi is not too long, pushback is although a bit interesting, we will talk about that in just a second, and takeoff briefing, we have done that, beacons are on, completed. So, prepare for pushback and departure. And 2022, so we actually have a really on-time pushback time here. What is it called? I think it's block off or something, or off time, maybe just off time, I don't know, something like that. Right, yeah, regarding the pushback. So what we'll do is 09 left is down here, and we are on gate 508, and what we will have is a pushback all the way down on Juliet, and then down here, which will be Yankee, and then we will be holding short here on Yankee, and then do the right hand turns onto Bravo and taxi down to the runway. Yeah, I think that's actually what they do, since pushing down to the left hand side is a bit short here, so yeah, it's a bit of a longer pushback route, so we can take some time before firing up the engines. And yeah, so Yankee facing east, I've set that up earlier, so that's why it's in here.
Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Okay, starting the block time, and parking brakes off, and off we go.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, so that actually seems to be working quite well. Just the last turn left, and now there's another 777. That's really 777 rush hour here at Sao Paulo just now. Okay, I think we are good to fire up the engines now. So number 2, start and switch to on. And let's listen in. To be honest, I think that was rather the pushback truck which we were hearing there, but nevertheless, I think it's quite a cool sound, but also I kind of like the Rolls-Royce sound even better than this one. But let's hear again when we are on the takeoff roll. That will certainly be a bit different again.
Set parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Okay, we have one engine running, so we can confirm that. And yeah, the other Swiss guy still being parked there. Wonder when he's going to leave.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck
Inside the
disconnected.
flight deck, the
Bypass
sound is
gear
even a bit
removed.
better in my opinion. Okay, what next? So air engines are running, both starters are cut out. Are they stabilized? Yeah, seems to be the case. So we can kill the APU. And well, other than that, all is looking good on the overhead.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
So let's get into the flight controls. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, and the rudder, full left and full right, neutral. That's done. And then the taxi lights, flaps to position 5, and this goes to RTO. And oh yeah, trim, I'm just remembering the trim should be 5.25, so we need to trim it up a bit. And there we are. And before taxi checklist, anti-ice, we don't need that recall, just TCAS, and that's fine. Auto brake is set, flight controls are done, ground equipment is clear, completed. And the before takeoff checklist, also since it's done, we can check that one. Right, so we are good to go. Releasing the parking brakes. And as I've mentioned previously, right-hand turn and then onto Bravo and another right-hand turn. So let's see how much power we need to get us going. Yeah, now that the pushback truck is gone, it sounds a bit better. Oh, the South African is moving ahead. Luckily, we are in front of this guy. It's crazy. These engines are so powerful. Whenever there's a slight difference in the engine power, you can immediately feel the aircraft starting to turn. I mean, this time that was on purpose, since we are into right-hand turn. But also, that's the very reason why we don't apply takeoff thrust straight away on the takeoff roll. Rather see if both engines are powering up. Otherwise, we would shoot off to one direction. Okay, I'm taking it slow today. Let's do traffic and, well, weather, but over here definitely terrain. We need to keep an eye out for both of those. And once again, when it comes to the shoulder of the first officer, which is about now, then we start the turn. Just like that, quite nice. Yeah, so definitely losing the race against those guys, but that's totally fine. We have plenty of time. It's so cool to finally have some traffic action again. We're just lucky in terms of timing, I guess, since I haven't changed the traffic settings, still set to around 50%. But lately we have been in some rather empty places, so super nice to have some aircrafts around us again. Luckily these taxiways appear to be super wide here in Sao Paulo, makes it a bit easier. Okay, so let's hold it here and wait until he's powering away. Now 20:37, so perfectly on time, our departure. Okay, there he goes. And we will put on the transponder like that. And yeah, they are coming in to land, but that's on the other runway. And we will put all the lights on. He's just below the wingtip now. Now he's doing the liftoff and already disappearing into the clouds, basically.
Approaching 09 left.
Okay, so I'm very excited about how these takeoff calculations turn out to work. I mean, they should be fine, certainly, but never know.
On runway 09 left.
Okay, I think maybe I will wait until this Airbus has crossed the runway. I think usually we would have priority here, but since I know the AI traffic's not going to wait for us, and I certainly don't want to run into him during the takeoff roll, that would be bad. So holding short just another second now. Alright, and he's off, so we are good to rock and roll and head off to Zurich. So starting the timer, and now let's see. Throttles to around 50%. Thrust set, toga. And there is that beautiful sound, amazing stuff. Let's check the outside very briefly.
80 knots.
Yeah, now these engines come to life. Beautiful stuff. Quite a bit of a takeoff roll after all, but still alright. Long runway.
V1.
Rotate.
Rotate. V2.
To about 10 degrees. Maybe a bit more than that. Okay, now we are off.
Positive rate of climb.
Yes, coming up. Could be worse, definitely, eh? Cool. Let's focus on the flying. it's a tiny bit shaky, but that's not surprising at all. And okay, let's put the autopilot on. Anyway, pretty straightforward departure. And power is coming back to climb. We are speeding up, and I can't see anything on the weather radar just now, which is of course good. Flaps 1. Stall speed is coming quite close there in these turbulence. Okay, there's one cloud off to the left hand side, but certainly not on our route, so that's fine. Flaps up. That's really close. I mean, it really only gets dangerous when we hit the red part, so there's still some margin, but yeah, we can see super heavy aircraft, or rather heavy aircraft, and a bit of turbulence. That's what it does. But we are climbing very nicely here. We can easily meet all these altitude constraints, so let's dial it up. 310. Take these lights off and also the taxi lights now. Okay, and there's the cloud tops straight ahead. Beautiful stuff. Okay, after takeoff checklist, that's completed. And so that's 8,000 feet as well, so let's go standard on both. There we are. Okay, very cool stuff, I think, since yeah, it's an easy departure route and there's really not too much to see from the flight deck right now. I'm gonna put you guys into music and view mode and enjoy the long cruise over to Zurich, and then I will meet you over there. Hello folks, welcome back to the flight deck. Now after what is almost 10.5 hours of flight time, we are quickly descending into Zurich, and it's a beautiful morning time arrival here into the Alps. Now we actually can't see too much of them, they're covered below these clouds over there, but yeah, beautiful arrival. And before we talk any more about it, I'm just seeing, I think I need to help the aircraft slow down here. Also, we are not yet on local altimeters, 1033, which makes us even higher than we already are. So let me put out a little bit of speed brakes here. I think that will certainly help the aircraft. Yeah, so here we go. It's shown in yellow since I've entered transition level 8000, but actually it's assigned by ATC in normal day operations, so I think it's fine that we are already on local altimeters now. And yeah, so yeah, regarding the cruise, it was a pretty smooth ride actually. Just after the departure out of Sao Paulo, we had a few thunderstorms around, as we have seen on the departure weather already, so some very minor circumnavigations down there, but other than that, super smooth ride. And then sort of at the border between Spain and France, we finally hit the sunrise and could enjoy it a little bit. And so here we already are close to Zurich now. And talking about the arrival, we are today landing on ILS runway 34, and we are shooting the Dopil 1 Golf arrival, super straightforward. Dopil, then Nolka, and then Ermus, and Ermus is coming straight up where we want to be, above 8,000 feet. And yeah, then we will do the right hand turn and go direct to Utixo, which is the first waypoint of the ILS, and there we want to be at 6,000, and then also hard dialed 170 knots. The reason is we have a 3.3 degrees glide slope today, which is just a touch steeper than the normal glide slope is. And since I'm not really sure how easy we can slow down the 777, yeah, I want to make sure that we are really settled on the speed, and then also probably on a flap 15 configuration by then. And then we will have a nice long 13-mile descent into Zurich. Okay, now we are finally catching up with the descent path again. That's perfect. So let me retract these speed brakes. I think we can leave them armed. Right, and that's 10,000. So landing lights go on. Oops, one is missing. There we are. Right, and from the charts today, I learned some rather interesting things. So first of all, we are only allowed to use idle reverse thrust down on the runway, which it's quite a common thing for European airports, and I think we can handle it. I mean, runway 34 is it's the longest one, and it is 3,700 meters, so plenty of space. We should be fine. I should be good to handle this. Track required, yeah, it is a little bit, but just 10 knots ahead. And over there you can see runway only runway in use today is 34, so that's why it is a bit busy over there. But in fact, let me do something. Go heading select, and also flight level change 6,000, like that. And I think we can do it also on the on flight radar. I saw that the real aircraft was, like the real world flight was going a bit closer to the mountains, also to not have like the super tight turn on the final. But nevertheless, I think I might need to put these guys out of the system, otherwise yeah, we might run into trouble there. Okay, and if we get to 6,000 by then, that should be quite all right. Now we just need to remember to slow down at the right time. And in fact, I think we should start slowing down now, just because I'm really not sure how hard it is to slow down this aircraft. Okay, altimeters are set to local, that's completed. Next up will be the landing checklist. And yeah, let's go flap 1. Let's be early with the flaps. Yeah, it's a bit cloudy now. Oh, by the way, weather in Zurich, haven't talked about it yet. It is looking quite good, better than expected. So wind 7 knots, variable a bit, but that's fine. More or less our direction of landing, good visibility, just low hanging clouds, 1,800. But other than that, pretty nice. So the gusting winds, they have been delayed a little bit, coming in only from 9 o'clock Zulu. Now it's 7:18, so we will be ahead of those. And yeah. Yeah, that's. I think the vectoring here is too tight. Probably I will need to kick those guys from the system, so to say. And now I'm thinking if we go direct again, then we should have everything in place also to... No, don't want that, sorry. Right, then we can go VNAV after we hit the next deceleration point, of course. Cool. Looking good. Just a pity that we can't see a lot of the Alps. Just down there we can see the peaks popping through the clouds. Ooh, a bit of a leg spike here. That's interesting. Okay, interesting stuff. Let's go flaps 5 since we are going a bit too slow in my opinion. I'm really not sure why the aircraft is climbing here. That's a bit weird. Okay, so that's 6,000 coming up. Let's arm the approach mode. And drop back. Flap 15. Okay, if we can get the glide slope, that would be perfect. Then we can comfortably go down. Yeah, that's the glide slope, perfect. Okay, now we can drop down to 170. Yeah, so you can see, guys, it's sometimes getting a little bit messy with the 777 as it is quite a slippery aircraft, so to say. Okay, checking the chart. Go around altitude will be 5,000. And so we have this perfect 12 mile final. Super cool. And let's see, speed 141 plus 5 makes 146. And let's see how the aircraft handles. Yeah, it is in fact speeding up, and that's due to the 3.3 degrees glide slope. So I think we might need to pop the gate, not the gate, sorry, the gear, of course, a bit early. Yeah, 10 miles out. Okay, let's drop the gear. Dropping the gear in the clouds, and I'm just remembering one thing. I should definitely put on. They are on auto. I'm not quite sure how the aircraft handles it. If it would pop on the engine anti-ice if needed, but since outside air temperature is below 10 degrees and we are going through some visible moisture. We should use them, in fact. Okay, let's keep the flaps coming and yeah, let's slow down. 145. I think the aircraft anyway needs a bit of time to lose that speed. Okay, but we have good visibility on the runway. Flaps 25 and flaps full. Okay, 5 miles to go. Landing checklist is completed. There it is. So, my aircraft. And let's see, first time landing the 777-300 after the update. Now I really hope it handles somewhat similar to the 200 since I didn't do any practice landings in this one before doing the video. Okay, 2 reds, 2 whites. Yeah, we are descending a bit fast.
1,000.
Let's put on this guy. I think it always helps a bit with the descent angle.
Approaching.
Still a bit low.
4.
Yeah, winds are sort of shifting around a bit. Nothing too crazy, but we can feel it. Sometimes the nose of the aircraft is pushing up, and the next moment it's pushing down. It's a bit weird. Not sure if that's due to the winds or something else. Yeah, just like that. Now it's all through the glide slope.
Approaching minimums.
Continue.
Minimums.
A bit low, but it's okay, I think.
50. 30. 20. 10.
And there we are. I'd reverse. And I hope auto brakes 2 are enough for this one. Luckily it's a long runway, but okay, idle forward. And manual braking. Okay, so we need to go almost all the way to the end. Maybe with only idle reverse, auto brake 3 would have been appropriate. But never mind. Okay, flight time 10 hours and 42. That's a serious long haul. Okay, and that would be Echo 3, I believe. Would be a bit nicer if they would actually put a bit of high-speed exits here on the runway. Okay, let's start a bit of the cleanup. And traffic, terrain. And the weather over there. And also flight directors, of course. And transponder standby. Landing lights come off and taxis go on, strobes come off. Why are the taxiways so super small here in Zurich? Ooh, nice. That's a Qatar A350. Very nice. Cool. Just now, as I'm thinking about it, I'm not quite sure if I previously completed my sentence on why we are actually landing on runway 34. I mean, the winds were okay for that, but also quite interestingly, German airspace doesn't want us to fly too low over it, and since the border of Germany is quite close for the other runways, we would need to fly low over German airspace, and on weekends they don't want us to do so before 9 a.m. local time, and I think on weekdays it's either 7 or 8 a.m. local time. Pretty weird, but that's really what it reads on the charts. But that is of course only if weather permits to do so. Otherwise there would certainly be other regulations in place. Okay, let's talk to GSX. We are going on gate Bravo 38 today. No idea, probably the first one. Right. Okay, we are about to cross runway 10, so it looks clear to me on both sides. Let's put these strobes on, but I even think it's not in use right now. And then our gate should be on the other side of this A340 back there. Okay, let's kill these strobes, and also now we can fire up the APU. So here's the A340 on the left hand side, and yeah, there we can GSX waiting for us. So what we will do is take a left hand turn and then just another left hand turn, and that's quite a stunning lineup of Swiss long hauls. Seems like pretty much all of the A330s they have in their fleet. Let's not go faster than 10 knots. Looking good. Let's kill the taxi lights. And this baggage loader is a bit close here. Okay, swinging around. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit too far. Oh, actually it's quite alright. Super long aircraft. Okay, 777-300, that's correct. Alright, just a little bit further. Stop, there we are. Cool, parking brakes. APU is running, killing engines 1 and 2. Very good parking. Thanks a lot, GSX. That's surprisingly kind words. Okay, seatbelts come off, fuel pumps come off, and let's go into the ground connections, wheel chocks, request the ground power, and let's ask for deboarding. It's only one jetway. No, it's 2 jetways. Okay, I hope that was the correct way around now. Righty. So, primary external, secondary external. Let's kill the APU, put the packs off, and then the hydraulic panel. Now I forgot once again. I think it's like this, and then the right one at the end. Okay, shutdown checklist. Parking brake is set and it's fine. Shutdown checklist completed. And now just opening some doors. Disarm all. And then open, open, and open, open. Like that. And since we are here, let's check the ACARs. Post-flight. So flight time 10 hours and 40. Block time 11 hours 6. Landing fuel 15.8, so plenty of fuel on board. Super cool. So guys, on this view, welcome once again to Zurich. Thank you very much for joining me on this first long-haul flight in the 777-300 extended range. It's a beautiful aircraft to fly, and you can expect to see some more of this aircraft on the channel in the coming days and weeks. And as always, feel free to leave comments down below, also route suggestions if you have any. And other than that, take care and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.